Good morning, everybody. My name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, September 13th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. We got Google ranking volatility continuing well after the core update. Still, Apple Visual Intelligence was announced. A lot more on that. Navboost statements, Google Ads, Bing, and local news, and so much more. So definitely stay tuned. You don't want to miss this one. And we got our sponsor, sponsored by SimilarWeb. Thank you so much, SimilarWeb, for sponsoring. SimilarWeb is the all-in-one strategic SEO software. Get clarity of the SEO landscape through competitive analysis, keyword research, rank tracking, SERP insights, and much more. With industry-leading traffic and keyword data based on real user journeys, SimilarWeb gives SEO professionals the whole picture so they can strategize smartly and drive sustainable business growth. Check them out at similarweb.com. Okay, so first up, we've been talking about this for a while, and I even checked this morning again. A couple days ago, I posted that the Google search ranking volatility has not cooled down. The core update finished like a week and a half ago. It was pretty heated during the core update, and it did not cool down at all. The search ranking volatility and the chatter are still pretty much all off the charts. It's like the core update is still going out. People are still complaining like crazy what's going on. Tons of comments on that post as always. The ranking charts, SEMrush and so forth, SimilarWeb, they all are showing same levels of heated visibility or volatility continuing through the core update through today. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Usually a few days after the core update is done, it does calm down a little bit, but I'm not sure what's going on. So if you are noticing ranking volatilities, you're definitely not alone. In any event, Apple announced Apple Visual Pro, which is kind of like Apple's answer to Google Lens, but it's using Google Lens and Google Search and ChatGPT and other features. So basically, you have this video of this guy taking a picture of a restaurant's front entrance from the outside, and it brings up like an open table and Apple Maps Yelp/result, which is cool. Then you have this guy taking a picture of a bike or an electric bike or some type of bike that's on the outside in the world, and it brings up Google shopping results. Then somebody's doing homework outside, takes a picture of a homework page, and it brings up ChatGPT to help you. So this is pretty interesting that Apple's taking this approach where it's using AI to figure out what it should use, like which service, Google, OpenAI, or Apple Maps, or other services, and then gives you those results right in the Siri type of screen. So interesting there. We'll see how that rolls out over time. Again, it's not going to roll out till at least version iOS 18.1, and Apple's releasing 18.0, I think like Monday or Tuesday of this week. So I got a little tip and basically bring up old statements from Googlers in the Hacker News forum. So as you know, I tried to get more out of Danny Sullivan in my search liaison interview on core updates around how Navboost interacts with core updates or how Navboost works and so forth, and I got nothing. But there was a bunch of quotes from different Googlers out there on Hacker News, one from an engineer, a supposedly ex-Google engineer from 2019 to 2023 about it. That's a popular one. We saw that one already. Also a guy named Kevin Lacker who worked at Google Search Google Search from 2005 to 2009, and a bunch of other quotes from the Hacker News forum from 2+ years ago from I don't know who, around Navboost. My pet peeve around this is that Navboost obviously was something that Google uses to search on some level to go ahead and look at clicks, pogo sticking, bounces, how long people are on websites and so forth. And Google's given us statements over the years that they don't do this. Clearly they don't do this. And then Danny Sullivan, Search Liaison, told me, we've been telling people they've been doing this since 2009 when we put 3 words on a page, on a Google search page saying, we look at anonymized user interactions or something like that. And well, when I asked Google this statement multiple times since 2020, as I said yesterday, Google said, no, we don't use these types of user interactions. John Mueller said this, Gary said this. Lots of Googlers have said this over the years. So I'm not sure what's going on, but clearly Navboost is out there and Google just didn't want us to know about it. And maybe they misled us on purpose, maybe we misunderstood, or maybe they lied to us. I don't know, but it's just disappointing for somebody who's been covering Google search for so long to hear this. In any event, those statements are pretty interesting. You definitely want to take a look at that. Google has replaced the Google Cache link, which they got rid of in January of this year, with a link to the Internet Archive's Wayback machine. Now, the Wayback machine is way better, in my opinion, than the cache link. I go through this in my blog post. If you want to see what Google sees, use the Google Search Console URL inspection tool. If you don't have access to that, then use the Google Rich Results testing tool to see what Google sees. That being said, if you want to get a history of a web page, generally the Internet Archive is really, really good for that. And so you know that the only way to get to it now is to click on the three dots in the search results. Then about this result comes up. Then you click about this page and you scroll to the bottom of that section. And then there's a little link to the Internet Archive, which takes you to a most recent version of the archive page. If you want to see the timeline of it, better just to go to the Wayback Machine or to remove some IDs from that parameter of that Google link. In any event, happy they added that because people were complaining about it. And I think that's a good solution, but I think they should make that link a little bit more prominent. Google posted a warning on the Google Indexing API documentation saying submissions that are submitted through that system undergo rigorous spam detection. And if you go ahead and obviously abuse it or manipulate it, Google will may result in access being revoked to the system. This was added just this week. Again, this doesn't mean Google hasn't been acting on this. They've been acting on this forever. They've been talking about this forever, but it now is a notice in the Google documentation about that. There's a report done by Rich Sanger and Lawrence O'Toole from Authoritas. Well, Rich Sanger is not he's from his own company. In any event, about the AI overviews, and basically said that by default, the AI overviews are showing links to sites that are about half the time showing up anyway in the top 10 traditional search results. Now, if you go and dig a little bit deeper, it could go up to like 64% or so. So it basically means like if you want to rank well in the AI overviews and get links in the AI overviews, you probably want to do just as well. You probably have to do well in the traditional search as well, which makes a lot of sense, which is what Google told us originally about the SGE results, which never really happened until somewhat more recently. Also, Aleda Solis found that Google's now showing shopping and product results for commercial intent queries in those AI overviews. Something that went away supposedly with the Ray update back a few months ago. And now it seems like Google's expanding the AI overviews to show for more and more queries. So keep that in mind. That was a nice find by Aleda. And then this morning I covered how Google's testing a new AI overview user interface where it's showing this, instead of showing a show more button, it's showing this little more link at the bottom right hand corner, and you click on it and there's a less link to expand it back up. But also Google's actually removing the AI overview header with the Gemini logo at the top in this test. That was spotted by Shahim as well as by Brody Clark. Google's Martin Splitt supposedly said at XMX events in the EU that they do not use EXIF data, which is like an image property data, for ranking purposes. Greg Griffith covered this, and Google supposedly just ignores it completely and doesn't use it. Google's been wishy-washy about this over the years. In 2014, Matt Cutts said that they don't really use it, but they do look at it, and they just reserve the right to potentially use it in the future. And now Google's telling us, which is interesting because Martin Splitt usually does not tell us ranking stuff. He did tell us that they don't use that for ranking purposes. Google Search is now supporting a new video structure data schema property for regions. Like if a video is not, like I don't want this video to be available in the US, I can say, put a new tag that says ineligible region property and say, don't show this in the US. Now, if I want to just show this in the US, I could use a tag saying regions allowed, and I could just specify specific regions that are allowed. This was a nice spot as well. So there's a new feature there if you want to use that for videos. Bing, according to Fabrice Cannell of Microsoft, may use product group markup in the future. This was a question asked by Jarno Van Drell, and Fabrice Cannell from Microsoft said it's not used right now, but it's on our radar, and the team is closely monitoring it. So for Bing. And also, he also said that 308 redirects are the same and treated the same as 301 redirects. This is a question asked by Lydia, and Fabrice Cannell responded saying they're the same. Again, something that Google has gone through many times. Google said that they're getting rid of enhanced CPC for Google Ads. This is going away in March 2025. Google says starting October 2024, new search and display campaigns will no longer be able to select enhanced CPCs, and then in March 2025, they will be migrated. So if you are using them, you probably want to do the migration before that. This way, you don't have to Google doing that automatically. Google is testing a new ads label or design interface that makes the ads a lot more visible and takes up a lot more room. This is spotted by Gag and Gorta. You can see a screenshot of that here. I doubt this will stick, but it is interesting to see that. Google Ads announced a new feature called confidential matching. It basically will take Greg Finn did a great video about this. I'll link to it in the show notes. But basically, you want to go ahead and it's basically a way for Google to say it's going to keep private or like data about like, I don't know, you, like your email address or your phone number or whatever, and it'll only use that data and reveal that data if there is a match with your customer data as well, and they won't go ahead and like keep it forever or use it for other purposes. It's like this new privacy thing that's backed by the IAB and so forth. So it's definitely worth looking at that. That's rolling out to certain types of campaigns in the near future. Definitely take a look at that. It's a pretty new feature and it's pretty technical, but Greg Finn did a great video on this, which I have in my blog post. Google has emailed advertisers using local service ads that they have to go ahead and start using verification requirements. Google told us back in March they're going to go ahead and do this, and now they're starting to email advertisers. Anthony Higman got one of those emails recently, this past week, notifying him and some other people. There are a lot of new complaints about the Google Search Partner ad network showing really fraudulent or allegedly fraudulent types of traffic to your website. This past week and past several months, but most likely this past week, a lot of people are noticing it more often. So if you are using the Search Ad Network Partner Network, you might want to look to see if that traffic's actually doing well for you. And if it's not, you might want to turn this off. Nice find there by the PPC community. A lot of people were talking about this. Google Business Profiles now sends out emails if the link for your appointment links are broken. I wish they did this for more, but this was spotted by Andy Simpson. Nice find there. I wish they would send it out more notifications around those types of things. Google Maps is now showing business photos for review sentiment. So reviews, if you have reviews about you have a restaurant and you want reviews about a specific steak, it might show your business photos, not the reviewer's business photos, but the business profiles from the actual business for those. This was spotted by Claudia. So nice find there. And then finally, Bing is testing this weird map interface where in the local pack, instead of showing the review stars, they're replacing that by showing the source of the review. So they're showing the Yelp icon or the Facebook icon. This is the source they got the reviews from. That was a nice spot from Frank Santman. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at SERoundtable.com over the past week. Again, thanks to SimilarWeb for sponsoring. Everyone a safe, healthy weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Goodbye.